On number 6, we're given f of x equals e to the x times cosine x on the interval 0 to 2 pi. And we are asked to find the absolute extrema. So to find absolute extrema, which would be minimums and maximums, we need to first find the critical values, which we find by setting the derivative equal to 0. So let's find the derivative first. We'll need to use the product rule because we have two functions being multiplied together. So the product rule, we've got the derivative of e to the x, which is just e to the x, times the second function as is, plus the first function as is, which is e to the x, times the derivative of the second function. The derivative of cosine is negative sine. Okay, simplifying that just a little bit, we've got e to the x cosine x minus e to the x sine x. And we need to set that equal to 0. Okay, so first we can factor out e to the x. And then we'll set e to the x and cosine x minus sine x equal to 0 separately. Okay, so let's look at e to the x equals 0. Remember, e is just a number, it's like 2 point something. So to raise a number to an exponent and get 0, that will never happen. So now we're only focused on cosine x minus sine x equals 0. So we can add sine x to both sides to get cosine x equals sine x. So we're looking for x values that would make sine and cosine be equal. And we only care about the interval from 0 to 2 pi. So if we think about the unit circle, 0 to 2 pi would just be one rotation around the circle. So looking at the points on the unit circle, sine and cosine come from the x and y coordinates of those points. So we're looking for where the x and y coordinates would be equal. So that would only be at these middle points of each quadrant. But in this quadrant, we've got square root of 2 over 2 as our x and our y. In this quadrant, it would be negative square root of 2 over 2, positive square root of 2 over 2. So even though they're the same number, they don't have the same sign, so those are not equal. In this quadrant, we've got negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. So those would be equal along with these. And then this quadrant would be positive square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. So even though they're the same number, they don't have the same sign, so they're not equal. So we only care about these 2 points. These 2 points on the unit circle come from pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. So those are our x values. X equals pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. So to find absolute extrema, we need to use those critical values as well as the endpoints of our interval, 0 and 2 pi, and we need to test those values to see which one gives us the highest function value and the lowest function value. So if we make a chart, we're plugging in x values, 0, pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 2 pi. I just put them in order from least to greatest. We are testing these values in the original function. So we've got e to the 0, cosine of 0, e to the pi over 4 cosine of pi over 4, e to the 5 pi over 4 cosine of 5 pi over 4, and 2 pi. You can test each one of these in your calculator. I got values of 1, and then I had to round these decimals. Okay, so our smallest function value comes from 5 pi over 4, and our largest comes from 2 pi. So we've got an absolute maximum at x equals 2 pi, and an absolute minimum at x equals 5 pi over 4. Those are our answers.